What is up, everybody? Welcome to another video here. We're just finished the Andre Drummond video. Should have just come out, and this one should be right behind it. But today I'll be discussing the top 10 places where I personally would like to see LaMarcus Aldridge sign. I would like to remind you that this is not anywhere cap related. I understand a lot of these teams may not be able to sign him, but I would like to see them sign him. So they made the list. It is a top 10 list. If you have not seen the Andre Drummond video, go check it out. I think, there'll be a link in the description for that. But let's go ahead and get right into this. Starting off with number 10, the Atlanta Hawks. I don't know if it'd be the perfect fit. Because, you do have John Collins, Danilo Gallinari in there already. But I do think with LaMarcus Aldridge, that team would be locked for the playoffs if they're not already. We talked about him a little bit in the Drummond video. It's a little bit different scenario, I think, because, I don't know how sold they are on John Collins. If they love John Collins, then they shouldn't sign LaMarcus Aldridge. But I think due to the trade rumors, they may not be entirely sold on him. So I think if they're not, go ahead and sign LaMarcus Aldridge. At number 9, the Charlotte Hornets, I think could use a power forward. They currently have PJ Washington and Miles Bridges listed as their power forwards, which is nothing against them, but they're not the greatest power forwards. I think they're fine, but or you could move LaMarcus Aldridge to center instead of Cody Zeller. So this again isn't like the greatest of fits. But if you want to lock yourselves in for the playoffs, LaMarcus Aldridge could help a lot there. Next is the Phoenix Suns. For me, so right now they're the second best team in the West, record-wise. I would say power forward is their weakest position. No offense to Jay Crowder, I love the man. But even still, you could move Jay at small forward if with Mikal Bridges running that revolving rotation with those two, and have Marcus Aldridge slide in at the 4. I think that'd be a very scary team. You got Chris Paul, Devin Booker. We'll go with Mikal Bridges for now. Marcus Aldridge and DeAndre Ayton. That'd be a terrifying roster, at least for me to face. So they've fallen at number 8. At number 7 is the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they could use a power forward because they have a pretty small ball lineup as of right now, which is crazy when your point guard is 6'10". But Seth Curry, Danny Green, and Tobias Harris are all in the starting lineup, which means one of them has to play power forward. I think if you bring in LaMarcus Aldridge, you could still run those 3 at shooting guard through power forward, and then have Aldridge play center. And then once Embiid gets back, you would run either Seth or Danny off the bench, which I think would be just fine. You run a rotation of, say, Simmons, Seth Curry, Tobias Harris, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Joel Embiid. I think that would be a very good lineup. I'm hitting something on my chair, but that'd be a terrifying roster. That they would be I think they'd compete. It'd be a very close race between them and the Nets as who would be the favorites to come out of the East then. At number 6, the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors with just any big man is gonna go well. Their rumors would be very. There would be a lot of rumors about it. I don't like it as much as I do the Andre Drummond scenario, just because LaMarcus Aldridge is more of a 4 or like stretch 5 you could use, but I don't know how much he would help in the mentoring of James Wiseman, and you're not going to start him above Draymond. You probably wouldn't move Oubre or Wiggins to the bench to put Draymond Green, which you could do. They could move Oubre to the bench and then run a rotation of Curry, Wiggins, Draymond, Aldridge, and Wiseman. Or Damian Lee, because I think Steph's still out with his hip injury. But however, they need to run, like they could make it work, which is why they're at number 6 instead of lower. But overall, not my favorite spot for LaMarcus Aldridge to land. At number 5, the Boston Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan, so I would like to have LaMarcus Aldridge. But in the end, I don't know how much more I'd prefer him over Tristan Thompson. I don't know how well he'd work in Boston. So I mean, like, I'll take it if we sign him here. I would much prefer Andre Drummond. But yeah, I'd be absolutely fine if we brought LaMarcus Aldridge in. So the Boston Celtics fall at 5. At number 4, the Los Angeles Clippers. I think that would give them 2 more versatile big men in Ibaka and Aldridge, as in they could both play power forward or center. They could both stretch the floor. I think it'd be an interesting fit. I would like to see it. I would be open to seeing that happen. I don't know how much it would actually help the Clippers, but in the regular season it would help. I just don't know about the playoffs. Next, for the Los Angeles Lakers, I have them in at number 3. I think they could use him more than the Clippers could. Because, I mean, then you could run rotation with him at the center instead of Marcus Gasol, which I think Aldridge is what they want out of Marcus Gasol. They want a big man who could stretch the floor. But he hasn't. He's been all right. Gasol can at some points, but I think LaMarcus Aldridge would just be better at that than Marc Gasol was. But overall, I think it's a fine fit. I don't really think there's too many good fits for Aldridge on a championship team, except for these 2. I found 2 good fits that I would love to see happen. At number 2, the Miami Heat. It is by far their weakest position is power forward. It's not even close. So I mean, your 2 guards are set. So I mean, combined point guard, you got Nunn, Dragic, Hero, Oladipo, and Duncan Robinson. You got 5 starting caliber players in your backcourt. Then you got Jimmy Butler at small forward, and if he's injured, Duncan Robinson in. At center, you got Bam Adebayo. But at power forward, you got Andre Iguodala, Trevor Ariza, and Precious Achiuwa, which is fine. I actually liked that the Heat got a steal there. But yeah, if you put, I'm just going to use ESPN's starting rotation. You can start Kendrick Nunn. No, we're not using that. Tyler Hero, Victor Oladipo, Jimmy Butler, LaMarcus Aldridge, Bam Adebayo. LaMarcus Aldridge may not be the best defender at the 4 spot, especially when there's more there's more mobile, versatile 4s out there. But even still, the offense would be great. I think they could honestly use him as more of an offense piece, as a stretch 4. Use him in pick and pops. I think that it worked very well in Miami. But the number 1 spot that I think LaMarcus Aldridge should shine, maybe it might not be the greatest of all fits, but even still, it's not a bad fit. And that's the Portland Trailblazers. They're currently 6th in the Western Conference. And I would also say power forward is their weakest position. Your backcourt is set. Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum. And if one of them goes down to injury, you got Anthony Simmons. You can move Norman Powell to the 2. They're fine. They're fine at the guard position. Small forward, they have depth with average players. Norman Powell, Derrick Jones Jr., Robert Covington. They're no stars, but they're solid pieces. But at power forward, they're currently running Robert Covington and Carmelo Anthony. Nothing against those 2. They are great players, especially Melo. Absolutely amazing. I think he's averaging 14 points this year, which I believe is a step up. is more than last year if I remember correctly. Oh no, it's actually a step down from last year. Anyway, 14.1 points off the bench isn't bad for Melo, but even still, you get a chance to bring LaMarcus Aldridge back. I am too young to remember how he left in the first place, and also I did not do my research on how he left in the first place. But to bring LaMarcus Aldridge back would be absolutely amazing for the Portland Trailblazers. It just adds so much depth to their to their front court. Because I mean, Robert Covington is versatile to play small forward or power forward. Melo, small forward or power forward. You could put LaMarcus Aldridge at power forward or center if Nurkic is in foul trouble or whatever. So I love the Portland Trailblazers fit, and I think that's where he should sign. But that could just be me. But anyway, if you enjoyed, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you all later. Adios.